when the dust was settled and clear, I decided probably it's been not even been a year to today to retire from teaching. I turned down an $87,000 a year job to work for myself because I learned about financial literacy and I understand I traded in my time and money to work for myself, and I start to see money differently now.
So how old are you, man?
I am 34 years old. I just turned 34 last month.
And you telling me you retired right now?
I am retired. I fully work for myself 100%. I don't get no paychecks. I sign my own checks.
Sign your own checks.
You going crazy. Stocks going up, money going up. Stocks going up, money going up. Stocks going up, stocks going up, money going up, money going up. Stocks going up, money going up. Stocks going up, money going up. Teasing you, gotta go and get it. Make the money double way. Look, I'm Warren Buffett, John Paulson. Blockchains got a living house. At the rate I'm going, I done really lost. Might have took off and I ain't talking now. I'm talking real estate, crypto, Michael Rubin, big bro. Stocks and bonds get you big dough. You ain't gotta sell no dough. You ain't gotta rich and freedom, not at all. Everything legit, bro. Suits tied with the loafers on. Who will watch different times?
Welcome, Take Flight Fraternity Podcast. You with your pilot, Quinn, aka Teacher the Trader, and I'm also with
Ron Washington in the building, man. Y'all get to experience this journey with me because I'm evolving as we go. So I'm ready for this trip that we about to take and soak up all the game and knowledge that I've been soaking up from my guy, old Queen.
And indeed, we about to give knowledge. So our purpose is to make sure we give out financial literacy, and we also give some stories from entrepreneurs, business owners, people in the community that's doing great things, that's making money, and also give y'all some game on financial literacy like the stock market, like, crypto, businesses, and all sorts of things. So make sure y'all tap that like button at the bottom of the screen. Follow us, subscribe, do all the above, so that way you won't miss this flight. So we're going to jump this off. I'm going to tell y'all a little about our backside, our backstory, and things like that. So, me and Ron, we from southern part of Dallas, which is not the most affluent place. And, it's not a lot of people that make a lot of money. So, a lot of people know it as Oak Cliff, Highland Hills, different things like that, the locals would say. But the thing is, we went to high school together, played football together. I didn't really keep contact with them throughout that time until the pandemic hit. But the way we came across each path is when I started trading stocks, you know what I'm saying? And I started learning about the stock market and trading stocks when the pandemic hit. And just my story leading to that is I grew up in a single-parent home. You know what I'm saying? My mother was not from here. My dad, he was around, but, he wasn't this financially there like that. But the thing is, I came from a single-parent home. My mother is not from the U.S., so it's like financial literacy wasn't a thing. You know what I'm saying? It was all about getting your education, getting a good job, work, which I think most minorities, that's the goal for their kids. Get a good job, get your education, and work, get a good and retire. And by 60, get you a pension, things like that, But the thing is, the last 10 years, I was a high school teacher, high school football coach, and a damn good one at that. So I almost was making six figures on my way up. My goal was to become athletic coordinator, and I turned down a $85,000 a year job. You know what I'm saying? But the thing I realized that I was making some good money, but I was putting in some hella time to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Man, break down this time versus money. What's so important on that time versus money deal?
Man, time and money. So let's put it like this. I was making about $85K, but I was going to work at 6 a.m., getting back home. On a good day, getting back home at 6 p.m. You know what I'm saying? And then when we had games and things like that, I'm getting back home midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. And so I'm putting in 16 hours, 12 hours, 18 hours in a week. I'm putting in over 80 hours, especially during football season. And if you were to break down all the hours I put in, even though it was $80K, And a lot of times, even those of y'all that got salary jobs would know, once you start getting on that salary, boy, they will work you.
Facts.
Like, that hourly wage may be higher than them hours you working, because I think I was making like $15 an hour if you count the hours I was working. So just going back from there, when the pandemic hit, you know, I was able to sit down and learn about financial literacy. I didn't have a coach. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have a friend to lean on. I read books. I watch podcasts.
Man, give us a good book, man. What's one of the books you read, man, that you like? I can give one of mine real quick. Mine is The Richest Man in Babylon, man. I think that's a good read. If you haven't read it, go check it out.
Man, that is a good book. I don't even think I was able to sit down and read that whole book yet, but I got to finish it. But I think it was called 4 Hour Work Week. That was a good book. It taught you how we said, time and money.
Yeah.
4 Hour Work Week is telling me about time and money. You know what I'm saying? And it helped me break down, like, man, we got to work efficiently. We working hard for somebody else. So even it broke it down, if you an entrepreneur, how to work down your hours. If you working for somebody, how to break down your hours.
Yeah.
And so it was for both parties, right? So if you own your own business or if you work for somebody, it help you how to break down them hours and work smarter, not harder. That's the goal.
Yeah.
So just going from there, like I said, I went to college, became a teacher, worked hard, and when the pandemic hit, everything stopped, as we knew. And I pretty much, like I said, read some books, started learning about the stock market. And when financial literacy hit me, I always been interested in the stock market, but I was intimidated.
Gotcha.
And I think a lot of us minorities are intimidated.
Gotcha.
And why I know Ron can relate to, why you think minorities are intimidated, man?
Man, you talking about taking a lump sum of money, investing it somewhere when I have all these other things that been waiting on me to handle all year round, like behind on bills, or, you know, kids needing what they need, me needing a new car, me needing a new furniture set, just things that a lot of, you know, people do in our community. Not saying that it's right, and not saying that they don't deserve it, because we deserve it all. But it's just like I made a post the other day. What are you willing to sacrifice today for a better tomorrow? And, you know, I got a lot of feedback on it. To me, a lot of wrong answers, but, you know, that's just my opinion on it. But me personally, I'm willing to sacrifice dang near it all.
Yeah.
For a better future.
Man, to see that, to say that, right? Like I tell people that too, but man, my wife is, as you can say, is emotionally connected. So, like, if you say something that's a wrong answer, she can understand it. And then a lot of times she break it down to this: your trauma is not my trauma.
Yeah.
And a lot of people be like, man, I grew up seeing my mama work 2 jobs, and I just don't want to struggle like that.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's trauma. Growing up, that's trauma. Like,
Yeah.
mentally, you traumatized by seeing poverty, and you're like, man, I'm making $50K a year. My kids good. Everybody healthy. I got a decent car.
Yeah.
My job ain't that hard. I get a promotion. I might make 70. And because that trauma, they don't want to take no risk to jeopardize that. And what you said is, we got to take a little risk.
Thanks.
To level up, and I agree with that. I agree with what you said. Got to take a few risks, because that's what I did. And I started investing in the stock market. I started putting a little money in there, and took the risk on betting on myself, learning about it. And when the dust was settled and clear, I decided, probably it's been not even been a year to today, to retire from teaching. I turned down an $87,000 a year job to work for myself, because I learned about financial literacy, and I understand I traded in my time and money to work for myself, and I start to see money differently now.
So how old are you, man?
I am 34 years old.
I
just turned 34 last month.
And you telling me you retired right now?
I am retired. I fully work for myself 100%. I don't get no paychecks. I sign my own checks.
Sign your own check. What about your wife?
My wife, she signed her own checks too.
Man.
So when I retired a few months later, we got her to retire. And she does a little contract work here and there where somebody else signed a check. But every check I get is signed by me.
So I'm going to go back to your father that you was talking about, man. Tell the people what you got as an inheritance from your father. Man. Let us know what happened on that.
Man, rest easy, Pops. But about right before the pandemic, maybe less than a year before the pandemic hit, my Pops passed. And we was close, you know what I'm saying? He was always around, and my inheritance, I was always able to help him, take care of him. But when he passed, I didn't get an inheritance, and it kind of woke me up. My inheritance was what was left in his wallet, and what was left in his wallet was $5. $5. That was, and I have it. I still have that wallet, and I still have that $5 in that wallet in my dresser drawer right now. I plan on framing it, but that was my inheritance, and it woke me up because I'm like, man. My pops passed, you know what I'm saying? It hurt me, but the thing is, there's nothing to leave a legacy. There's nothing to leave behind.
Yeah.
There's nothing, like a lot of times, when you see more affluent people, when somebody passed away, somebody leveling up.
Yeah, the right coat. Yeah. I mean, so $5 left. I mean, how did he get buried and all? Did he have life insurance or? How did that work, or was it a burden on y'all to make sure everything got squared away right?
Man, just to put honestly, bro, we donated his body to science. So when he passed away, it wasn't no burial. We had a memorial at a rec center. Got some food catered in. I think we had a little ceremony that me and my sister put together with the immediate family, but we donated his body to science, so I didn't want to do the GoFundMe thing, and I had the money to do it, but the thing is he wasn't the person that even cared. He always said, burn me, and I couldn't find it in my heart to cremate him, but the thing is to donate his body to science so people can learn about the illness he had and find ways to help other people. That's where we came to that. But the money that we came up with, we just literally had a family little ceremony about a month later. But we donated his body to science. So that $5, he had a little insurance, but it was just enough to have that little ceremony and things like that. But it wasn't like a whole lot. It wasn't nothing to level up.
Okay. So if your time was to come, what if you did to make your daughter have a better outcome than what you had?
So, like I said, it woke me up. So I got LLCs. I got 4 or 5 LLCs that she'll be able to inherit. You know what I'm saying? I have some real estate that she can inherit. But also I opened some custodial accounts. I have some investing accounts. Yeah. So she has money every month. I put money into these accounts. And since she was born, she just 16 months now. But I put money to the side for her every month. Now, on top of that, I have a life insurance policy. Yeah. So all these things, if something happened to me, she has 4 or 5 businesses. 3 of them is passive income. Yeah. That's easy to come by. They can sell, right? She has, 3, 4 properties that she inherited, and those are in insurance, life insurance. And then she also already been putting money into stocks for her. So that's what she has. And I also that's why I'm learning more about financial literacy. I'm not a guru. I don't know everything, but I will open up a book. I will ask questions. I will try to figure out how to do it. Like right now, I'm trying to figure out family banking. I'm trying to figure out life term policy where accrues interest, where I'm trying to figure out trusts. We watch Power, right? Yeah, for sure. So Power's a thing. Why you think Tyreek can't get that money?
Sure, that trust, man. You got to check out for all, what he got to check out before he get it.
Exactly. We know our kids. If your kid's a knucklehead, you don't want to, if you got money and you have it ready, you don't want to leave a knucklehead with millions.
Nah, he gonna blow through it.
And that's the thing. If you're trying to create that legacy, it's financial literacy. If you want your kids to eat, and you done made that foundation, they should be able to eat. based off their foundation, if you set it up right, based off life insurance, based off stocks, investments, LLCs, property, all that.
Yeah.
But this moving forward, man, tell the people your story, man.
Okay, my backstory started with my great grandfather. They were from a little, I guess, neighborhood or whatever you want to call it in Dallas called Joppy. You know, you got to be around Dallas to know about Joppy. So one way in, one way out thing.
They say it's under the bridge.
Yeah, man. That's where the train come through, though, man. A lot of people got some J's off their train back in the, what was that? Shoot, probably that.
Early 2000s.
Yeah. I was in middle school, I believe, when that happened. But, my grandfather pretty much was like homeboy off of Harlem Nights, man. He had an old juke joint out there, man, and it had the little gambling in the back, man. Had police on payroll, from what I was told. And how I got that story was, me and my father, like night and day, like, I'm into gambling. You know, I'm going to shoot some dice, or I'm going to gamble on whatever I can feel like I'm good at. Shit, you think you better come, let's run it. You know, but my dad had told her that if he want to work, go home, watch TV, and do it all again the next day. Me, shoot, I always been looking for an easier way out. I always had a job, even in high school, but I knew that wasn't it, though. It's like, it's too slow. You know, it's too slow to have what I want to have. Like, I work all week long, get this check, and this shit, it's damn near gone.
Right.
So that was too slow. So I'm always looking for something sweet on the side, you know. So that was my mentality. So, I get that, the gambling part from my grandfather, and entrepreneurship started with him. Then it went down to my grandmother. My grandmother was a great cook. That's why we own a restaurant. And my grandfather was with her husband. They both had 9 kids in like the late 50s, I believe, or early 50s. They had 9 kids, so my grandmother didn't work. She liked to cook, so my grandfather built her a restaurant. My grandfather was one of the first black contractors in the city of Dallas. So he built houses. I think at the end of his legacy, he had like 21 rent houses. And the way he did the rent house, he rented them all out on Section 8.
Okay. So he had the hustle in him. So he done learned the game.
Oh man, he wanted that for show money coming through.
Okay.
Like, you know, they pay their little portion, but for sure the government gonna have yours on time.
So he know about that for show money. And the guaranteed check that's coming in every month.
Guaranteed pesos coming through the door. So he had his, and then I have an Aunt Shirley. Shoot, she also, her and her husband built the empire together at the time. Shoot, they had 22 rent houses, I believe. It's 22 or 21 with them. So total, shoot, we like 40 in the building, but that's them, right? My dad, he done moved on, got married, and he doing his own thing, working and going home type thing. So, me as a child, I come around and I see all this other stuff going on the other side of the family. I'm wondering why we so poor over here. So, that should have lit a spark in me, but still didn't so much. So later on down the line, I get to I meet a woman.
A woman
outside our restaurant.
A woman. You say outside the restaurant.
Outside our restaurant.
So you on Sunday evening, you saw a old lady. You got your Kruger or what?
No, man. She ain't no cool. She a little older than me though. She
like, come here, youngster. Let me come whisper something in your ear.
Nah, man. I seen her step out with them Gucci shoes on. I felt she had some money, but it wasn't nothing on that though.
Yeah.
But we chopped it up. She owned her own tax shop. She had a couple rental properties, and she have I think a car wash, I believe. So we were just chopping it up on entrepreneurship because I was, she know that this my family restaurant, and she was just telling me about her tax business and whatnot. So as we chopping it up and whatnot, as time go by, she's get to digging deep. Like, yeah, so what you got going on? What you do for a living? Yeah, I'm gonna leave that Pepsi. Okay. What's your credit look like? Okay. What's your bank account? Man, I ain't got no bank account.
She trying to really get to know who she signing up to, huh?
Well, we friends, but at the time, yeah, she was trying to figure out, like, what's your hustle like? You know what I'm saying? So, she asked about the bank account. I'm like, man, I ain't got no bank account. You ain't got no bank account? What you doing on no bank account? Say, man, you know how it go, but I ain't got one. Well, she knew about my sister father being in the military or whatnot. She was like, don't she got the Navy? So I was like, yeah. She was like, man, go on and get that through her. So I signed up with the Navy. So they got the ball rolling on that part. Then I got the secured credit card she told me to get to go on and start working on the credit. Because at the time when I first started on my credit, it was a 485.
What?
It was 485, man.
Boy, you was really out there fooling with that credit at first, huh?
Man, I thought cash rules all. I wouldn't worry about no credit. I'm gonna shit long. I got a pocket full of money. I ain't worried. I'm gonna give some credit.
Man, I think it was a president or somebody back in the day said credit is cash. Credit is cash, and you understand credit, and you can leverage your credit to make money. You can leverage your credit to literally save you money. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. If you got bad credit, you jumping into a car paying 15% interest off top. And then if you got good credit, you might be paying 2% interest.
Facts.
That is a world of difference because that interest is compounded. So if you're doing a 6-year note paying $500 a month, you might be in that car is $24K. You might be spending $40,000 on that car rather than somebody else doing that same exact thing and paying off their car, only possibly paying maybe $27,000, $28,000.
Saying what you talking about, that interest rate and all that, and that's on a used car. That ain't on no brand new. Like these people paying that on used cars. Facts. They done had 3 owners before you.
Facts. And the car is not an asset unless you about to throw that thing on Toro or you Ubering or something.
Definitely
that car is a liability and the worst investment you can put in on the car.
Okay. Free game right there, man. Free game right there on cars being liabilities, not assets, unless you Uber eating or got it on Toro, like he said.
Man, unless that car making money for you, and a lot of us do not even know the basic concept of a liability and an asset. You know what I'm saying? Like, and man, it was a matter of fact. I think I read another book, Rich Dad Poor Dad book. He breaks down liability and the asset. So he said basically, you own a house, you live in that house. Unless you got roommates, that is a liability.
Yeah.
Because that house is not putting money in your pocket. Even though you may stay there, don't have to pay rent, but you do have to repair it. You do have to pay taxes. So it's putting more money. You are spending more money on that house than it's giving you.
Right.
So whatever that is an asset, it's putting more money in your pocket than you putting into that.
Yeah.
So if you think about anything that you have, just putting it as simple as possible, it's a liability. If it's a negative, if you got to spend more money then you making on that, it's a liability.
Yeah.
And if you are literally gaining more money, even if it's $1, that is an asset. And we have to figure out how to create more assets than liabilities, and that's how we can help us build financial wealth.
Yeah.
And it all starts with financial literacy, just learning that simple. And it's simple. It's simple to understand that, but it's hard to find those assets.
Yeah. So, man, I want to give a quick shout out to the women, man. Y'all doing y'all thing. Y'all bossed up out here right now. Like, ain't no cap going on there. Like, the women, they own their best everything. Like, they making it happen for them kids. They making it happen for themselves. Like, you can learn a lot of game from them because it seems like, man, I post a lot of stuff on Facebook. 90% of the people that inbox me are women trying to figure out the hustle, the game.
And you know why? You ever heard, I know we done heard that song, J. Cole, Pride is a Death, right?
Say.
I bet you with 90% of men are too prideful to ask for help. They feel like, man, I ain't asking him for no help. I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna reach out to him. I don't know him like that.
Yeah.
And it's just pride. And the thing is, like, you gonna allow pride to hold you back from gaining knowledge, gaining wealth, gaining, a level up. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I am not prideful. I hopped on Facebook the other day and talked about I'm trying to tap into the real estate game. And, I said I even willing to pay people. I just want to learn it.
Yeah.
Man, I had about 15, 20 people hit me up and willing to help me free free.
Yeah.
Just took time out their day.
Yeah.
And shout out to all them. And I learned a lot about it. But the thing is, if I was too prideful, I would have been sitting there, man, I'm going to just read a few books and figure it out by myself. Man, the thing is, we as men are prideful and this hold us back, because I know it's a lot of people who got my number in their phone and look at my friends with me on Facebook, IG, and everything, and won't give me a call. And I tell Ron this before. I said, Ron would be like, man, hey man, such and such hit me up, ask me this. I'm like, why they ain't hit me up? He got my number.
I don't know what it is, man. I don't know. Maybe they feel like I'm the more friendly one or something. Maybe that's what it is. I may be the more friendly person or something.
Hey, man, now, I guess I might be the crazy one. I don't know. I don't know if I'm crazy or nothing, but sometimes people just simply just be like, man, he too far. He too far.
Maybe
it's unrelatable.
Yeah, for sure.
They can't relate to me no more.
Sure.
They can relate to you.
But
Ron's still working. He's still trying to get it.
Yeah.
Quinn, he ain't working no more. He's sitting around.
Yeah. Well, see, they got to cling on. I guess they're going to cling on to me how I'm clinging on to you. You know, when I first got going, especially with the stocks, man, shit, I'm calling you early morning,
Facts.
afternoon, that night before. I'm holding on because you can't run across too many people that's going to give you the game like that free of charge and want to see you do better. You know
Facts.
what I'm saying? Like a lot of people, they're going to chop it up. They're going to break it down and it's going to cost you $30K before you finally get what you need to get to where you're trying to go.
I mean, people always say that, especially where we come from, the game is sold, not told. And I think they had that mentality a lot of time. But think about it, man. I always have, when I first dropped this, I had free Zoom calls. I put out free game. Matter of fact, what right now I'm running a thing that I'm saying I want, within 100 days, I want to teach 100 people about financial literacy. So it could be the stock market, it could be business, it could be everything, but I'm knowledgeable about it, so I'm for free. But think about it. A lot of people won't even, like we had the last class, I put out 30 tickets, about 18 people showed up. Yeah. And so that means they didn't show up to something free, and a lot of times people don't even value free.
Well, on that note, you got people that's saying, man, let me see what it do for him first before I go and jump off in his mix. But you done missed the train by the time I get to where I'm, because I ain't, man, this is the man right here, man. This is the man. He real humble, but homie got it going. I pray that I stay humble. Because, man, ain't no telling. I'm going to be looking like a rapper around here. My guy, he done took 6 different trips, vacations, man, in the last month or so. Every week I look up, he flying out somewhere. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta get on me a plane or something, man.
And that's what I said. It's hard for them to be relatable. They probably see all that. They be like, man, I can't. Quinn ain't got time for me, man. Let me just hit up Ron and see what he can get.
Yeah. I guess I'm still touchable.
And that's the thing, man. For us to understand financial literacy, that's why we having this podcast, and that's why we want to give out this game for free, and maybe lead you to different pathways in financial freedom. And that's the thing. We tapping in stock market trapping. You can see the shirts. For sure, we into the stock market strong. But we want you to hit that like, subscribe. I don't want y'all to miss no free game on this. All right, week in, week out, me and OG RONDON gonna be on here, giving out some game. We're gonna have a few guests time to time, and we're gonna try to give y'all as much as we can. And think about it, man. If you following us on our social media, you following us, tapping in, just know it's going to be opportunities out there to learn free game from us, because we want to make sure the minorities are tapping into this financial literacy and leveling up, because you never know where we can go as a whole. So make sure y'all tap in. Let's take flight till next time.
Yes, sir.
Good. In print, beautiful, guys. Dynamite.
Yeah.
Hey, way y'all looking good on this camera. So it's still recording. So like,
how you stop it?
I don't want to stop and like deleting it. Okay. See,
because it still look red over there.
It's over. You finna stop.